All right, here are my initial impressions of set 21355, the evolution of STEM from LEGO Ideas, the 63rd LEGO Ideas set. Let's take a look at some of the stuff on this front box. First of all, this set overall is just really cool looking, a lot of different elements going on because it's a mishmash of like the development of STEM over the last, couple hundred years or so. Well, actually longer than that, starting with Isaac Newton. Down here, we have him as a minifigure holding the apple. And of course, we get the apple tree. And then, of course, we get George Washington Carver, who, found many, many uses for peanuts, holding that printed peanut tile right there. And then we get Madame Curie with that radium tile, which I understand is glow in the dark. In addition to that, we have all the other developments of STEM over the many, many years. We have the molecule, DNA helix, space shuttle, honeybees, satellites, New York City, where lots of things happened. Of course, related to STEM, the development of the personal computer right here. Probably looks like a Model T vehicle, all nestled inside this book. And get a little better view of some of the things. Looks like the DNA helix spins down here. We can position Newton under the apple tree. So much stuff happening in this set. Let's get the box open and see what's inside. All right, so we got the box open and these are the contents. 7 numbered build stages, 1 extra piece out in the bag. I'm betting that's for the DNA, the molecule build right there. Sticker sheet, 4 stickers, not too bad. And of course the instructions, 1 booklet. And of course we got a close-up of our 3 minifigures on the back. Yeah, I'll look at the little lore about like some of the different parts of the set. So I'll go through those as we go along. Ooh, there's that DNA molecule, the DNA helix, pretty cool. Yeah, looking forward to getting this put together and talking about it. So stay tuned for stage 1. All right, stage 1 is complete. And it's not really showing what it is yet, but I'm guessing it's part of the book base. We get a Technic action, so you can see as I spin this wheel, this turntable spins, as well as also connecting to this part that goes up and down. I'm not sure what that's going to be for yet. We're gonna figure that out as we go. But you can see the beginnings of the book because these curved slopes right here, interesting looking curved slope actually. I don't think I've ever built these personally before. Stage 1 also gives us our first minifigure, George Washington Carver, complete with that printed peanut tile. Yeah, looks really nice. I always enjoy minifigures based on real people, especially historical figures. Leonardo da Vinci, Jules Verne, so on. So I like getting historical figures as well as in the build. So stay tuned for stage 2 and see what comes next. All right, stage 2 is complete, and we get more of an idea of what this is going to be. It looks like this is the book base, and it's got a lot of good techniques in building like the open book pages. It's also harboring a couple of secrets, actually. I'm actually going to start on this side of it. If you lift off this panel, so I can get my hands and fingers under it. There we go. Inside, we have all 16 of these little colored squares. And in the instruction book, it says, this representation of the optical light spectrum shows colors ranging from ultraviolet to infrared, although the human eye can only see a portion of this. So this is representation of color and what humans can see, or sometimes not see. And then it's covered up with these little panels here. Put that back. On the other side, we have another hidden one. And let's see if I can get this one off. And, here we go. This one has these pieces here representing Morse code, which according to the instructions, so here just verbatim from the instructions. In 1836, Samuel Morse invented Morse code, which allowed long and short beeps to be transmitted via wires or written as dots and dashes. And ask you, can you tell what the message says? Well, I've looked it up on Google, and this spells out STEM in Morse code. STEM right here. Nice little hidden references. Kind of shame they're covered up as soon as you build them, but it's still a pretty cool reference hidden in the set here. We also get this random trans light blue piece right here. It's probably some sort of water. Haven't gotten that far yet in the instructions to tell what it is yet, but pretty sure it's going to mean that coming up real soon here. Stage 2 is a lot of fun to build. I like this a lot. Stay tuned for stage 3. All right, y'all, stage 3 is finished, and stage 3 was actually mostly, 99% of it was building the DNA helix that you see here in the center. A couple of plates were put down in the book, but that was really it. And then we built the entire DNA helix, the spiral shape. By twisting this knob, you get to see the whole thing rotate, which is kind of cool. Nice little play function. A little bit, really concentrating to get these lined up, the colors lined up correctly on this thing. But it's a pretty neat little thing. I really actually did enjoy doing this. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays a role in the finished model, because now we have this part done here, but it also connects to this part right here, which also goes up and down, although I'm not sure what it does yet. So looking forward to stage 4. All right, stage 4 is finished, and we get our second minifigure, Sir Isaac Newton, holding the apple, of course. He has a double-sided face right there. I like the printing on his torso, very fitting for 17th century scientists, double molded legs, pretty neat on that. Now, what we get to build in this are 2 distinct different sections. The first one was a representation of New York City in miniature. I recently just built the New York City architecture line set, and so I recognize a lot of the landmarks. I built some of these already. We have the Empire State Building, the Flatiron Building, Statue of Liberty. In addition, looks like Central Park, possibly. Looks like a tour bus, Times Square, billboards, and a biplane. It's actually kind of cool. A little uncertain why New York was not included. There's little blurbs all over the book about different things in STEM, minifigures, and so on and so forth. But there's no explanation to why New York was included, at least not one that I found yet. So I'm a little confused. It probably just because New York is just, such a big city and very popular for like inventors, scientists, you name it, whatever. That's my guess. I don't know why New York was included, but it's pretty cool that we get it. On the other side, we get Newton's apple tree. Now that one, we actually do get some information on. It says in the book, and I quote, "The apple tree that allegedly inspired Isaac Newton's theory of gravity, now estimated to be over 400 years old, still thrives at the scientist's family home in Lincolnshire, England." So there's representation of the apple tree that is still on his family's property to this day. The one where the apple allegedly fell on his head. Whether that story is true or not, I'm not real sure, but that's the story. Yeah, nice. It's finally starting to come together. Finally starting to get some like good details in this book, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I cannot wait for stage 5. Okay, stage 5 is done, and we got 3 new components to our evolution of STEM. First thing was this classic automobile. It's not named what brand it is in the instruction manual. It's probably supposed to be a generic vehicle to avoid licensing. But, it looks like one of those old Model Ts, you'd see from like the early 1900s. Then we have a little flower garden. Lots of different types of flowers in this. Love the sunflower element here, and all of these newer type flowers right here. And the book, it describes how George Washington Carver found lots of uses for sweet potatoes and soybeans and peanuts and all sorts of agricultural like advancements he made. And then, of course, the center here is a 3D replica of a carbon atom, which is the basis for all life on Earth, which contains 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons. So all these little pieces all around here are all represent all of those. And this actually sticks into this part that went up and down. So if I twist the knob back here, the helix spins, and then the carbon atom goes up and down. So pretty neat little function. So now we know what the other function was for. It's coming together. I am just loving like the combination of details from different time periods in STEM history coming together in this thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what stage 6 brings next. All right, y'all, stage 6 is complete. And with stage 6, we get our final minifigure of the set, Marie Curie, complete with a flask and that glow-in-the-dark radium tile. That's a pretty neat little printed piece, glow-in-the-dark printed piece, actually, to be honest. Yeah, pretty nice little minifigure, completes the set. 3 good scientists in this one. And as far as the build goes for this one, we get a robotic arm. I believe that's what this one is supposed to be here on this swivel joint here. And then this desk containing all sorts of different things. We have a microscope, a chalkboard with different scientific principles on it. There's a diagram of a plant growing, something about mathematics, the Fibonacci sequence, which is right here, the perfect number. The early PCs, even got the tinting right on that. And underneath the desk, we have what looks, I believe it's a fossil record and a sticker element right there. And some books and a quill pen and everything. Tools that would be used by scientists of multiple eras. This thing is coming together very, very nicely. I'm looking forward to seeing the final stage, so stay tuned for stage 7. All right, y'all, stage 7 is complete. And with stage 7, we get the final touches of the model. First of all, go ahead and pull this forward real quick here for you. We get the golden record, which was part of the Voyager 1 space probe. It contains like language samples from all over Earth and other information that could be read digitally. Aboard the Voyager 1 space probe, which probably looks very similar to this model that was built and attached to the DNA helix. We also get the space shuttle. No name on that one. It's just a generic space shuttle. And then we get a bee, a honeybee, which are, of course, vital for plant pollination and everything like that. And it just completes like the outsides of the set, gives the set kind of a complete feel. All the little details all over this set are beautiful. And yeah, these little finishing touches are really, really cool.